Welcome to Exploring with D-Rob. Let's go. Good morning, welcome back. Headed through the Nada Tunnel, the gateway to adventure. Probably wondering about the title of the video, Unfinished Business in Pelphrey Hollow. If you've ever heard of Don Fig, he had a couple of books, one of those being Tales of the Red River Gorge. That's where the reference of Pelphrey Hollow comes from. The area around Sergeant's Branch there was once known as Pelphrey Hollow. I'm headed back out there again today. Been in the area several times. And if you notice here on the right side of the road, random, there's a wild turkey. Been in the Sergeant's Branch area several times. My last video, in fact, was one of those trips where I found one of the two arches I was looking for. After I got back, put the coordinates in for the other arch that I thought I already had in my phone. But anyway, I was really close to it. So today, I'm going to go back and connect the two lines on my map that I've have vacant there. Hopefully we're going to find a old Forest Service arch. Maybe even find a new one today. So, any luck? It'll be a good day, which every trip to the Reds, always a good time out in the woods. Starting from the Bison Way Trailhead again. I'm gonna head out here and see what we can find. May get to do a little wildflower photography again today. Looks like there's still plenty of white trillium and stuff blooming. Got some bellwort, blue phlox. Hopefully the light frost overnight didn't get them. Best I can tell, it don't look like anything's got frost on it, but the truck had some frost on it when I came out this morning. Hopefully the wildflowers survived it. It's getting that time of year when we get into the old timers or gardeners winters, redbud winter, dogwood winter. Usually when dogwoods like right now is in full bloom, there'll be a little cold snap, get a little frost, good chance to frost burn crops or flowers. So these all still seem to be looking pretty good though. Last time we was here, I mentioned the Dana Direct Trail. I'm going to make use of part of that trail today. Get up towards the cliff line. Bison Way heads on around Glady Creek this way. See this user trail heading up here. This is the Dana Direct Trail. I'm going to head up this way towards the cliff line. I thought I might see a deer today, but I was expecting it to be on around the hill a little bit. There's a pretty good deer trail cuts across the ridge on out through here. They frequent this area pretty regular, but if you noticed in that little short clip there's a doe ran over the hill out through there. You can see her white tail up in the air as she went out of sight. Anyway, on up the hill. Made my way back around to about the point where I stopped at the other day. Here's one of the springs I came across. Not sure if you can tell where the leaves have been ruffled up here. It's probably where those deer cut across that a while ago. I came on across a little hump there a minute ago and they blew at me this time. Saw two whitetails bounce over the hill, so may not see them anymore now that they've alerted everybody else in the area. But gonna head across this drainage and up. I think I'll just start at where I stopped at the other day, which was pretty close to where the arch that I'm searching for should be. So hopefully we find it. Well, I was right. There's definitely two deer. Just saw them again. They cut around below the point and I come across the top. They was probably 150, 200 yards out ahead of me, but gotta see them run over the hill again on me. Where I'm going is where a well-beaten deer path cuts over the ridge, so if they're headed the same way, I might wind up seeing them again after all. Well, since we was talking about deer, I'm not sure if you can tell how these leaves are patted down flat. It's likely where one of these deer that I keep running off was bedded down overnight. Well, apparently this is where they like to bed down at, because right here's another spot where a deer's been bedded down. Yeah. If you hear that blowing sound, that was the deer again. Oh, there goes the other one. Well, they're going on around the ridge and I'm going up it, so that should be the last time I see them. They're probably getting tired of seeing me. I'm gonna run down here and take a couple pictures of this cliff line down here. Had some really neat geology in it the other day when I was here. Where I'm gonna eventually search it. Cliff line's barely out of sight right there. Go down here and look at this rock shelter again. I really like this texture right here. Thought this was really cool. Now then, headed on up towards the cliff line. Time to do a little arch hunting. The only bad thing about this area here, which could make this arch hard to find, is that there's 2 or 3 different levels of exposed cliff line. So, hopefully I'll get lucky and hit the first one, and that's where it's at, but it's usually not how my luck goes, so we'll see. I think I'll start high first, work my way down, and just get the hardest part out of the way first. Can't really tell how steep this is, but it's where the deer trail goes up the hill and across the ridge, so let's get started up through here. Not that I'd expect any less, but this roto is ridiculous up through here. But if I ever make my way through here, I should come out pretty close to where the arch is. So I'm going to continue swimming through the roto up through here. Fun times. Well, after swimming through all that roto, I was correct in that I'd come out right at the arch. Here we have Signal Arch. For reference of how close I came to this arch the other day, right out there at the end of this little drop off there. Just on the other side of that is where I came down the hill at. So I was, I don't know, here's the arch, maybe 100 yards or less from it. It happens like that sometimes. Let's go over and photograph this thing. Sweet, this is actually a double arch. Wow, that's awesome. It's a lot nicer arch than I thought it was going to be. I thought we just had a little span arch there, but got this little pillar here too. Here's looking out from inside Signal Arch. It's a pretty sweet arch right here. I'm gonna drag the camera out and see if I can get a couple images of this thing. Whenever I first saw this and saw that there's another arch here, I called it a double arch. I think this may be more considered a twin arch, because I think for a double arch they have to be one over top of the other. Twin arch, they're both part of the same structure, so I think this might actually be Signal twin arch instead of double arch. While I'm here, I think I'll go ahead and grab some quick measurements. Pretty nice arch. Well, the largest opening here is this upper one. It was 11 foot 1 inch by 4 foot 7 inches. Pretty sweet arch here. One last look at Signal twin arch. Well, there's still a little section of cliff line out past the arch here that I've not explored before, so while I'm already up here, I think I'll go ahead and search it, and we'll make our way back down towards the parking and maybe photograph some wildflowers. Found this really big burl. If you look over behind this, it's an upper section of cliff line. Got some really nice color in it. Gonna head over there and check that out. Well, it's got great color and everything. Really nice stretch of cliff line. But unfortunately, don't see any arch openings here. Well, coming on out through here has paid off with a new find. Not hardly tall enough to reach over the top there, but come around underneath. Pretty cool little arch here. Be very hard to photograph, but I'll see what I can do with it. Pretty cool find. From ground level, looking up at the arch. Way up here at the top. Here's the arch, and it cliffs out right here on me. And I think, judging by my track, I cliffed out right here on the other side of this my first time in the area arch hunting, and I went over across the top and up here. So if that's the case, I may have to work my way down, and looks like there may be some cliff line below this. We'll document this arch here and work our way back down and around. Here's a look down on the arch. I was able to push myself up through the arch opening here. pretty good size opening, as you can see. I'm not sure if this was similar to like Ohm Dome, where a large iron deposits fell out and created the opening, or exactly how this one's formed, because there's no chunks of rock directly underneath this opening, so pretty interesting. I made reference to Don Figg's book, tells the Red River Gorge earlier, and Pelphrey Hollow. I'm going to run this by Bill Patrick, see how he feels about the name Pelphrey Hollow Arch. One last look at the arch. Back around to this big rock shelter. What I failed to mention earlier is when I said it didn't look like there were any arches here, I was standing down in this area looking up this way. This looked like it was possibly an arch, so I definitely had to check it out. It's not an arch, but had I not came and checked, I wouldn't have just found the arch that I did, that I'm unofficially naming Pelphrey Hollow Arch. The reason I started not to is because it's a pretty sketchy ledge around through here, a little narrow there. Usually don't do anything like that, especially when I'm by myself, but now I get to go back around it. Now then, back below it, here's the ledge I just came out there. That's roughly 20 feet. A little narrow ledge just right through that section there. Wasn't too bad. Just gotta kind of watch your footing. Anyway, out here in this area where all the rhodo is where it cliffs out at. I'm gonna look at LiDAR. I think I have to work my way down the hill here, and then I can get below that other cliff line I was seeing. So we'll find out. As I mentioned earlier, there's several layers of cliff line around through here. Managed to work my way back around there and cliff out again. I was able to use rhodo as my friend this time. Work down through these boulders here below this little cliff line. I'm going to work my way on down. I think this has connected my lines on the map, so should be headed on back around towards Bison Way Trailhead. Might try to photograph some wildflowers before we head on out. Well, just as I was headed around this little point here, I looked up and thought, that looks kind of archy. Well, we do have a light opening. Not sure if it's going to be quite big enough though, but we'll measure it and see. Pretty good sized pillar if it is. One of those arches that's kind of hard to measure. Not sure which point to which point to pick to measure from. But if I measured it correctly, I got 4 feet wide by 18 inches tall. So this would definitely be an arch. Currently going to be unnamed, but I'll talk it over with Bill Patrick. This may be Pelphrey Hollow Pillar Arch. I'll look back through the arch from the opposite side. And pretty neat rock shelter here. I caught a glimpse of light through this over here. Got a little bit of a light opening right there. I'm going to investigate this. You can see some tree roots inside this here. This could be another arch. Well, as I was coming around to check this light opening I was seeing, I confirmed that this is an arch as I fell through here. So this is definitely an arch. Can't really see it straight on. But if you come over here where my foot went through, there's the light opening. just guessing, water working its way through there over the years where this tree root comes down is probably what's formed this arch here. Well, as I mentioned, it layers out through here. Here's a small pillar. It's just a window though, a real small opening. Right there's where I just put my foot through the other arch. So really archy little area. Came around the little point here, and up there's the point where I cliffed out a while ago. So I think I'm in territory where I've already been now. I'll work my way down to the trail, going back out towards Bison Way Trailhead. The sun's warmed up quite a bit. I guess we'll find out if the frost affected the flowers or not. Hopefully it didn't, and we can photograph a few. Made my way back around to the Adena Direct Trail. As you can see, a little campsite here, about halfway up the hill to the cliff line. May photograph a few wildflowers on the way out of here. Instead of boring you with that, I'll go ahead and sign the video off here, and if you want to check them out, I'll leave a few images that I get after closing here. But today was definitely a successful trip. Got to take care of the unfinished business in Pelphrey Hollow, confirmed a Forest Service arch, and found a few new ones. Really good day out. If you enjoyed today's adventure, appreciate if you could give me that thumbs up. If you like my videos, please consider subscribing. Hope to see you guys again soon. Thanks for watching.